Hi, we're back.
We're back.
We tried to film this like however many days ago,
Yeah.
and we just kept getting distracted.
Yeah, there was a lot going on.
Life was happening.
There's a lot going on.
There was a ghost.
Oh my gosh,
There was a haunting.
There was a lot happening.
There was a ritual cleansing.
But you guys get it because, things happen. But we're here.
Yeah.
We're doing it. We're back for more.
We may have committed a federal offense, but no one ever has to know.
I don't know what she's talking about, but anyways, I guess we can start. I don't know how the hell to start.
Why are you doing it? Let me handle it. I got it. Okay, ENTJ.
I don't even know where we were at or anything. I don't remember anything. Okay, what was she saying?
Our favorite. What she was saying. Well, they were saying something.
We're talking about visibility.
Yeah, visibility. Embracing visibility. And we were talking about small fat and my ascension to small fat. Yeah. And how I'm very visible. And I'm still very visible every single day. Alex is witnessing the weirdest stuff happen to me. I'm a fan of this like really famous comedian. Oh, she's famous to me. And she like literally she was on stage and she like looked down at me in the eyes and she's like, "Who are you? What do you do for a living?" And I was like, like that kind of stuff is happening. Crazy. I know. I was so excited. My parents were freaking out. But anyways, yeah, lots of stuff been happening. I got a free drink from that was cool. Just randomly. Alex was there. He saw me knock over the drink and then somebody gave me a new drink.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. He's like, I would have given you a free one anyways, even if you did knock it over. And I was
and she's so proud of her newfound privilege. Mm-hmm. So.
I have like a ton of privilege, yeah.
I know. So we have to, I guess, lord it over
everyone else.
The fab fatties.
Yeah. They can't assent to this. Anyways.
Yes, let's definitely.
He's like, let's just jump into it already.
I'm ready to attack.
He's like, I'm tired of Lisa. She's annoying the heck out of me.
I'm just ready to attack.
Yeah.
That's all.
He's ready. He's ready to fight. Okay. Let's go. Fab fatties. Here we go.
Like this 100% like authentic version of myself. But I don't know where I was going with all this, but it really is like, I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep doing it because even if I get 1,000 terrible comments, I can take it in the hopes that if one person sees that reel and says, wow.
I know I said I wasn't going to pause right away, but I have to pause right away because I can spot lying when I see it.
Okay, so how?
This is the classic thing that people say. If it's like, just reach one person, it's going to be worth it. It's never true.
I think, honestly, if she was getting more hate than love, she would quit. Mm-hmm. I don't think she has staying power. And I know that that's harsh. And I'm not trying to act like anybody really has that much staying power. Mm-hmm. Like, realistically, it's not that easy to do. Mm-mm. And if you were getting absolutely zero approval, it'd be hard for almost anybody to continue.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So, and she's not, I don't even know. I mean, I don't even pay attention to their comments or anything, but I know there's at least some positives, but there are negatives too, but they're really bad too. Yeah. They're like very radical. So,
yeah, I definitely like when I've gone into their comments, they definitely have big supporters.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. I mean, they only have 1,000 subs, but hey, like I only have 1,000-ish subs and I got some people who are like, I watch your videos every day and I love that. Thank you so much.
Right.
But it's just, I think when you have a very controversial topic and you have people who are clearly not stable, they're engaging in those behaviors, or as you call toxic ritualistic behaviors, I think they're going to make things more dramatic often than they actually are as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. I agree with that.
Like your reaction, right? You can do that? You can do that? Then yeah, I will keep doing it.
I got some love at work. People 100%. Saw it and was like, that's kind of badass.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I will fucking keep doing it. We will keep doing it.
I was going to say, the thing is like, we do have an audience that likes and needs that message, right?
And not just fat women.
No.
Right? No. Like I think that's the thing we talk about the most is while we are talking about our fat lived experiences, we're also just talking about experiences in our bodies as women. Mm-hmm. And regardless I think all women can relate on some level.
Yeah.
I've had people approach me who were super sick and needed to gain weight and struggled so much to gain weight.
Yeah.
And everyone kept commenting on it, right? Like, while it's literally the exact opposite, there's so much similarity there, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's still a community of people who are being judged based off of their body.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing that we can't escape is that weight does mean things in society. All of our bodies.
I have to say
no one
something
Yeah, of course, yeah.
activistically. So basically, remember that toxic ritualistic E followed by letter D is not womanhood. They always try to lump the two together. It's not true. It does not have a gender. There's a lot of men that go undiagnosed or don't even think they could have it because they're a man. That's not true. It's actually probably a lot more common than you would think. And I don't think it's good to make this a gendered issue because first of all, it projects on all women that they have it, which is annoying as hell if you don't.
Like me, I don't have it.
And secondly, it makes a lot of men think it's not even possible for them to have it when they do. And so either way, it's bad. And remember, it's not that common with the exception of one demo, which is Gen X women. It is more common, but even for them, it's maybe 1 in 3 or less. So it's not like it's 85% of women. No. And across all the other generations, it's much less. It could be even like 5% or less. It's less. So this is not that common. But people that have it, they do project it onto everybody else, basically, or a lot of people.
Well, definitely. But they also, I feel like it's like a self-gaslighting. So they will purposely surround themselves with people who have the disorder or have disordered like behavior. And they will just go out of their way to only surround themselves with those opinions. And so therefore they only hear it. And I feel like after a while, they start to think that it's everyone because they purposely put themselves in that situation.
Yes, that too. You seek it too. You try to find it even in online spaces. Even if you can't find anybody that's involved in that type of stuff, you will look until you find it. And it does go across the spectrum. So that is true. Like I was watching Freely the Banana Girl. We clearly did not have the exact same issues, but we were along a sliding spectrum. And I still found her when I was 20. It's like you seek, you will find. But it doesn't matter. It's still bad.
Yeah.
She lives in freaking Australia. I don't think she could have gotten farther away. Right?
I don't think so. I think it's like the exact opposite.
Think about it, you know? So it doesn't matter. So this idea that we can just get rid of it and nobody will ever hear it. No, because you look for it and they look for it. But most people don't. Most people don't have it. They just don't. So just remember that always.
Yep.
Getting out free from this, we're all going to experience weight or body changes, aging, whatever that thing might be, right? And we're going to navigate it because we do have meanings attached to it, but it also changes how we experience
aging
things,
is
right?
not
like
weight gain.
Me and Allie went to a market in Pineville the other day. They had those awful chairs that so many restaurants have, little metal spokes that go right through your butt.
Those are the actual worst chairs ever.
Those chairs are fat phobic.
Well, listen, like they're butt phobic. They really hate butts. I mean, they concave into your ass.
I don't know who told me this, but I believe a lot of restaurants have them because they're the cheapest.
Oh yeah, they are.
100%
chairs that you can buy.
100%.
Yeah, and it's just how many people get affected by that, right? Like my mother who needs a sturdy chair, needs to be able to sit fully on it. She has to be sitting upright. The backs on those are concave too. Like concave's the word of the day. Those would not be good for her either. You know, like there's so many people. And so our bodies do change our experience of places. Our ability level changes our experience of places. And then of course we have all the other things, how people perceive our race or age or gender, all those things, right? So yeah, there's a lot to talk
overly
about
combining.
when it comes to being fat.
It's not related to weight. None of that is.
Experiences, how we feel about our bodies, and
I want to talk about the age thing too. Like, apologize, I have like a little bit of blood in my throat. Okay, so the age thing really bothers me because on average, as the normal person ages, they're actually losing weight.
Yeah.
They start losing body fat all over their body because you're born with like certain areas of your body, like for example, like buccal fat. It's really dumb that people get their buccal fat removed because that fat naturally disappears over time, like the fat in your face, but the buccal fat is supposed to stay. And so if you get rid of the buccal fat, it makes you look older faster because it's a natural sign of aging to lose fat in your face. And it's the same thing with like other parts of your body. Like think about puberty, how you gain that fat for puberty so that you can burn it off through puberty, right? And so oftentimes, especially if you work in any kind of skilled nursing facility or a hospital, it's really, really troublesome when you have elderly who don't have enough body fat and because they lose it so easily. And so to combine gaining weight with age, it's such a strange thing when we know it's the opposite, actually. It's the opposite problem.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's talking just purely naturalistically. I agree. And even obviously things like hydration and stuff, like it's just tough.
Yeah.
It's tougher to retain stuff when you're elderly.
Yeah. And we have a mutual friend who is a senior citizen, and she's going through some current treatments for cancer, and it's really difficult because they want her to gain weight, and it's like impossible for her to gain weight. And now they'll use the same story about like, oh, a woman came up to me and she's talking about how hard it is to gain weight because blah blah blah. And it's like, so they're mixing and matching these issues in places where it's convenient to them, but the reality is more similar to our friend, where it's she's a senior citizen, she's ill and she's trying to gain weight, but she's struggling to gain weight because she is elderly. You're not gaining weight because you're getting older. That's crazy. Like they're probably associating with menopause.
Probably, but that's still, like you said, that isn't elderly.
No.
That's different.
Yeah.
Or maybe puberty as well.
And
but those are two phases. Or postpartum or pregnancy, it's easier to gain weight.
It's just a massive hormonal change. And so some people do, gain weight because they don't handle the hormonal change well. But it doesn't mean that you just naturally gain weight.
No.
Yeah, that's
You're
like an
still
excuse for you.
overeating. Yeah, I agree.
A lot of it is just because fat bodies mean something in our world, and
period.
We're not going to escape it, and you're not going to escape it. Like if you want to hear what it's like, if you want to hear the experiences, if you want to talk about it, we're here to talk about it, right? But we're not going to shut up because it actually does mean something.
Yeah.
But what does it mean? I still haven't learned that.
Fiery on that one.
I was going to say, we're not going to shut up.
This is Rebecca fiery. Yeah. You know what? I might not be bad, but I got them behind me. And they're gonna back me up, okay?
100%.
That's me.
She's the mom of the group, but we are definitely like, hell no.
I'm gonna pull up my britches and then they're gonna be behind me.
It's like I'm gonna take my earrings out for when my friends come.
Imagine them in a fight. Just for a second. Imagine it.
You had to say it. I wasn't even thinking that. I was thinking I'm like, I get it, kind of like social media wise, like sometimes it's good to say something like that because it's like a rallying cry. So I'm not like hating on them saying that, but I'm also like, when you said that, it's like,
So we've been having this running joke all week about what would happen if like Alex and someone got into a fist fight, or this person got into a fist fight or something. And it's one of those things where you can act tough, but like, I'm sorry, it's like there is no real threat there. It's like, I don't understand what you're doing. I know it seems off topic, but I'm talking about they use so much bravado to try and make their point because they don't have a point.
Yeah.
It's really weird to me.
I agree.
I feel ready to talk about this, but one of the things, I'm just moving us along in different topics.
I love it.
Okay.
We're
move us along.
I don't know if y'all are ready to talk about this, but one of the things that did pop up while we are, I guess, like what we could call like average people who are a bit public about being fat, right? But
a bit,
a little
average.
But we're
wait. It's a good thing it's buffering right now.
They just said that they're average people, and I was like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, so you were saying we had to refresh for a second to get like a stream close, but they're not the average.
No,
that's. I'm glad you caught that because my brain was like, what?
No, it's not average.
Mhm.
It is not average to be super morbidly obese. Like we need, and thank God for
Mhm.
that. If it was, we'd be in a horrible position.
Mhm.
It's not average.
Well, what they always say too is the average size is 18. They're not, and nobody
No.
there is size 18. And even then, it's like the average used to be 16, and then it was 14. And it's like,
Mhm.
why is the average going up?
Yeah. Well, and I wonder too, what would be the average if you took out super morbid?
Oh yeah,
That too.
that is a good point, because that's something we
Mhm.
actually learned in statistics class,
Mhm.
where it's like you have to remove the outliers in order
Yeah.
to find the actual mean.
Yeah, because I think super morbidly obese, it's maybe 9%.
Yeah.
Which again, you don't even know if everybody in that category has that toxic ritualistic issue, and you have to split it for gender. So maybe it's slightly more one way or the other.
Yeah.
So it's not that much.
Yeah. I think for women, though, they were saying it was 18, but that could be an average if you have those outliers in there, which is probably, it would be better to find the median, which is where you line everybody up, and then you're like, you count down to where 50 is. Like say it's 100 people, you count down to 50, that's the median.
Yeah.
And that also helps to exclude some of the outliers, because it says, okay, that's only 9%, that's only 9 people, right? But then you only have like 8 people over here who are underweight. And then where is the middle ground?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably anywhere, realistically, it's anywhere from, I think it used to be 12. It's probably like between, I would think 14 to 16, something like that. Maybe it's gone up
pant size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's gone up a bit,
Yeah.
but I think it's only 18 because of that super morbid sway. It's still gone up, but it's not this drastic jump.
Yeah, it'd be better to find the median than the mean in this case. I know we're talking math stuff, but it is important. It puts things in the context.
And it keeps things in perspective, because you have to just, for the love of introversion, you have to understand, when we go out in public, there are not that many people that are super morbidly obese. There just isn't. There, and a lot of it is because a lot of people that are shut-ins.
Well, yeah, let's talk about like in Charlie, like concert, were there some super morbidly obese people there? Yes, but not like a gajillion.
No.
Oh, like I would say out of, if we had to count like 100 people, I would say maybe 4 or 5. Yeah.
That's typical. So it's like, yes, people do exist, but if you were to compare that to like, small fat or obese, it'd be like way higher. It'd be like, oh gosh, like half the people. Me, no, I'm just kidding. You just disappear into a crowd, basically. I mean, it's a lot higher, and that's still a problem for so many people to be obese.
Yeah.
Like if half the people are obese, that's a huge problem.
Yeah.
But it's not average to be their size. Like we just have to keep that real, and it's a good thing. If it was, we would be basically at a societal collapse, I think.
Oh yeah, there would be extinction event.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. It's crazy to think about.
We're not so average people, okay? We are, I sometimes call myself a plebe. We're normal-ish. However,
I resent that word.
Okay.
100%.
We're weird. However,
we're fabulous.
What we're not,
we're people.
We're fat.
Is celebrities.
We're friends.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know where you were going with this. And this is a good transition.
And one of the things that happened while Allie was being mercilessly trolled, and while Alyssa was getting some of the offshoot, I did not get any of the offshoot. I'm
glad, by the way. I feel like we needed you to not be in it, because we needed you to be like, guys, keep perspective here.
Well, that's also because Rebecca has very strong boundaries for herself. And I don't mean to talk about you like you're not in the room, but Rebecca has very strong boundaries for herself, where she's like, I do not engage with trolls, with bullies, with anything. So Rebecca just completely kept herself out of that conversation, which 100% I admire. Whatever conviction you have towards that environment, take it, because it is fucking vicious.
I will say that definitely came up a lot in therapy in the week post, and I was like, oh, I can control the space more. And then I learned that there's a difference between engaging with people who disagree in a way where they want to have a respectful conversation, and then there's just people who want to hurt your feelings. And I don't need to engage with the people who want to hurt my feelings. But
okay, let's talk about that. Once again, it's on the internet. they're basically saying very, very elementary things about online communication. They're still treating these people like it's real life. Honestly, Rebecca, the one who says she doesn't engage, has the best perspective on it. It's like they're not, if you don't truly want to know that exists, you don't have to interact with it. It's not going to find you in real life. But the other two are clearly, like, which one has the behaviors?
I think they all do.
Oh, okay. Well, they all do.
All of them do. They're all really bad, and they all reinforce each other constantly, which you'd have to sustain that size. It's really hard. I mean, let's just put that in perspective. It's tough to sustain. It is. It takes a constant gaslighting operation, especially if they don't have severe hormonal problems. Then it would take, but even at that case, they are that big that it's probably still really hard to maintain. I think you reach a point where it is almost untenable. Like the constant effort they have to be making to stay that size is unreal, which they all support each other to stay there, which is horrible. I don't even like to use the word support, but that's how they're doing it. But basically, no, they all have it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was just asking because it's like I wanted to know if that made a difference about how they were engaging, because I would not be surprised if they're using it as drama fuel for their behaviors and
reinforcement.
Yeah, definitely. And and so I just think, to me, it's just kind of wild that she's like, I learned in therapy that I don't have to engage with these. I'm like, how are they just figuring this out?
Yeah,
that's kind of weird to me. Like, they're not in high school. It's not like you're in high school and you're learning how to interact with the internet. You're adults.
Yeah, that's true. Well, and the other thing too is like I like, my perspective is like I will engage with it sometimes if I can make an activistic point. I don't typically engage that much.
There's some people out like, I think crazy.
I don't typically engage unless if it's like maybe I will just if I feel like being a bitch one day, then I'll just do it.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I try not to do that often just because it's not wise, because this isn't a personal channel. So if I can make an activistic point with it, then I will. So there will be times where I take screenshots of comments, I will post it, and I'll make a point.
Yeah.
Like lately I've had somebody who's incessant, and I let her know, I've already told you I don't want you to watch my channel. I don't want you to engage, but I will allow you to keep doing it because I will keep showing how you keep trying to reinforce it because you're threatened that I've recovered and you haven't. And that's something I'm going to just post every time she posts. And I will do it because it makes an activistic point. I want people to know, who have struggled the way that I have, that there are going to be a very small minority, like keep that in perspective, that 2 to 5% of people, right? It is a small amount of people, but they are very loud, and you do have to be strong with that. And so I'm trying to show how to set those boundaries through my page. That's a very specific activistic purpose, though. It's not something I'm personally doing. If it was just personal, I probably would just block the person,
Yeah.
Which is, sometimes people want to, but I can make a point with it, so I will.
Yeah. The only time I've blocked people in my comments is where I saw, like, sometimes they don't attack me, but they'll attack other people in my comments, and they'll just go off on like the most random stuff, and then I'll block that person because I'm like, it's why are you coming after? Because look,
you don't like that.
Yeah, that's very toxic, and it's like, if you want to fight someone, comment at me, right? Like, why are you attacking this random person and calling them stupid and all these different things?
Right.
Like, so I would just, to me, I'm like, no, that's bad juju. Just take that out. So
okay, that's fair. I don't get that very often, but everybody's like ready to fight me. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, you just draw it towards you. Versus like a lot. It's very unusual to see comments trying to fight me. I've had a few. But I also that's why when I think that's why they probably attacked somebody else, because they wanted to fight, but they couldn't fight me.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So I was like, no fighting allowed.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
But, the people on the cookie video, remember the cookies?
Yeah.
Like, I had some great conversations with people with different points of views about that clip.
And that was a more complicated, different experience of fatness, different feelings around food. Like,
Yes.
like, even if we might not agree with them, we can understand why it's so complicated, right? Versus just like you shouldn't exist.
100%.
Yeah, and I think before we get to the celebrity stuff, like we did call and do lots of we did calls about with support because it was hard, it was bad, and my thought was basically it's getting to the point where these people are swarming, you know, like they're like bees, they're like insects swarming.
Oh, this was great.
And the activity is picking up and their energy is feeding off of each other. And at some point you have to decide to get out the insecticide and kill them bitches. Like you have to spray them.
Yeah, you don't just need to stand there and get stung.
You don't have to get stung. And it's not not noble to get stung. It's not you're not morally better. You are a great person, even if you get out of the situation of being stung, right? Like you don't deserve to be stung. You didn't ask them to sting you. You don't have to endure it. That's where we got.
I'm sorry. 2 things here. If you're making an activistic point, people will probably disagree with you. That's one. So there's going to be people that disagree. It happens all the time on my channel as I am an activist. So I do. As an activist, you say things people disagree with. That's kind of in the job description.
Yeah.
I would say that's basically what it is.
Hold on a second, guys.
I don't know if they can hear it. I don't know if they can hear it.
No, I can hear it, and it's bothering me. If they yell again, I'm going to go confront them.
Oh my gosh, can we get that on camera? No.
Yeah, you can get that on camera. I will. Shut up. There we go. It's been quiet all week, and then we had some college kids come in.
Yeah, pretty much.
And they could go F themselves. Okay. I'm too old for this SHIT. Okay. I don't remember what we're talking about. Okay. They were yelling.
Oh my God. Oh no, I was saying.
That was
what I was saying.
Okay.
Okay. So I was saying if you have an activistic point, which one is there?
Make it big again. No! It's this one right here.
Oh, okay. If you have an activistic point, people are going to disagree.
Yes.
And that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, sometimes they'll be productive, sometimes they'll be nasty.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I think it's better to engage with the productive disagreement, better probably not to with the nasty, because it usually tends to weaken the other side.
Yeah.
So you should just leave. Oh, I shouldn't tell them that, but for anybody who is an activist, it's better to just leave it because it makes you look stronger.
Yeah.
In terms of what I think they do a lot, there's this thing called trolling. Where you say things that are totally ridiculous, specifically because you want a reaction.
Yeah.
Which I think they do all the time.
Yeah.
So there's 2 different aspects there, which they blend the 2.
Yeah.
Because sometimes their activism is just trolling. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because it's like.
They want the drama.
Yeah. And they're bored, probably. There's probably which again, why are they so bored? They can't do that much. I mean, think
about how much we did this week. I'm not bored at all.
No. We've done a lot.
Even when we're here relaxing, I think like you, Eric, and I, we have a word for it. We're not going to say it on YouTube because YouTube might not like it, but we have a word for how we interact with each other. And it's like, it's constant stimulation to the point where we've had to have a conversation, a very nice conversation about how we're all really tired.
Yeah.
Because we're not sleeping. Much. We're all just like, to like 3 a.m.
Pretty much.
Literally singing in bed to each other.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. We were
show tunes.
Hairspray last night.
Oh my gosh. And then Eric said that we didn't truly love him if we didn't wake up singing Good Morning Baltimore to him.
Oh my gosh. So there you go. But yeah.
We're not bored. The whole point is we're not bored. And part of the reason we're not bored is because we're healthy enough to go out and do things.
Yes. And go on a trip and have fun and that kind of stuff. And when I'm just saying, like they're very, very, very big. I have to be real. And we're talking just physical reality, practicality. If you can't fit into any seat or any of these things, it's just a lot. And I do believe that they're all introverted too. So it's already hard enough to leave your house as an introvert, even if you have no barriers. If you have like 10 bajillion barriers, it's like college student. No, I'm just kidding. if you have tons of barriers, you're not going to want to do it anyway. So it's like, or you're not going to, it's going to be impossible, basically. So I think that's why they want to troll sometimes. Yeah. And I do have some compassion for that. I've done it before. Mm-hmm. It's stupid, but I've done it. I did it with the Swifties. I did it. Mm-hmm. And I did it well. And oh gosh, I got hella engagement. Mm-hmm. And the Swifties hated me. They did. I think the video is still up. If you guys want to look at my trolling moment, it's back in 2022 with Swiftgate, Scalegate.
I'm not good at trolling, but I am good at roasting.
I was good at trolling. I did a great job. And the Swifties were so mad.
It's been, but anyways, let's say, even if they're all just like, they're all three of them are hanging out together. Like I made that joke on our like video with Eric, where I was like, we're fat and we're friends and we're fat, whatever, like that they do here in the podcast. But one of the reasons why we have so much to talk about is because we've all been going out and doing things. Yeah. So you can't just get together with your friends and be like, what's new? Nothing. Sitting around at the house.
Yeah. Pretty much. I mean, and that's basically it. Like and they're talking about comments they got. It's like, do we talk about that sometimes? Yes, we do. But we also talk about a lot of other things.
We talk about some really stupid things.
Yes.
That's a lot of fun.
I'm just saying.
And then sometimes we do some really stupid things.
It's this one, right?
No, it's this
one. Oh my gosh. I cannot figure that out.
Just let me do it, honey.
Okay.
Pivotal moment for both Allie and myself. Yeah. We heard Rebecca say this to us and we were like, oh.
Hey friends, do you want to contribute your stories, questions, or topic ideas to the
Cutting
pod?
This out.
You can now submit written, audio, or video content to us for consideration in a future episode. You can find the link in our show notes as well as in the bio of our Instagram page.
Why don't you have a telephone?
Well, because it very much hit me in a way that like there was a big part of me that was like, no, I need to keep, because I need to show my strength, and I need to show people what it's really like out here. I need to do X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, I'm over here martyring myself for no goddamn reason. Mm-hmm. And you're like, Allie, we get it. You're in the nicest way possible, everybody. But like, we get it.
Be annoyed.
You're not afraid of them.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that you have to keep taking their abuse.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, light bulb.
Yeah. You need to decide if this is a job or not. Is this a personal diary moment? If so, then no, you don't have to take anything. Block everybody. Make it private.
Well, they were saying, they were like, people think that we're like famous or something. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Right.
You're on the internet. You're putting yourself out in public. Exactly. If it's not for that, then you could just block everyone.
Make it private.
Yeah. So are you an activist or are you not an activist?
Yeah. If you're being an activist, then it takes work. Mm-hmm. It's not always fun. Again, I love it. It's probably my greatest passion, honestly, truly. I mean, you can tell how consistent I am. I love it so much. It isn't always fun. Mm-hmm. It's not always going to be fun. There's going to be work. It is work. Mm-hmm. It is a job.
Well, not to like feed into stereotypes about fat people being lazy.
Well, their whole thing is being a huge stereotype.
Exactly. That's what it comes off as. Like, you sound really lazy.
Yes.
You don't sound like you work very hard. It's like, oh, it's work. It's like, we get to work at something.
Yeah. Which, I mean, personally, I'm glad that they're lazy because they're my ideological enemy. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I feel like when Eric is here, all three of us, one of these days, maybe in Nashville, we'll have to do where he forced him to react with us, and we can be like the anti-fat fatties.
Pretty much.
1 second.
Oh my God.
1 second. I'll be right back.
Let it roll. Okay.
Hey, how's it going? Can you guys keep it down, please? Right. Thank you. Have a good night. Bye.
That was still demure. That wouldn't have been me. I would not have been demure.
Hi, we started off nice, okay? We always do demure first, and then if we are not demure, then we get ratchet. They apologize. We're like, sorry, we're all the way out of here. I'm like, good, thank you. Okay. It's great to travel with me, though. I get things done.
It couldn't be me.
It couldn't be you. You just be in here like, oh, they're so annoying.
I either deal, or if I really hate it, then I go really nasty. Mm-hmm. But it takes a lot to get me nasty.
If they don't leave in about 10 minutes, then you're out next.
No. I'm not as bothered by that. Not now. Not at this moment.
Yeah.
But no, I understand the vibes because I had, which we don't really have to put all this in there, but I had a horrible neighbor in 2020 and I was going nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's keep on going then. Thank you guys for our brief interruption and being so patient with it.
Absolutely. Like the fucking the emoji should have been like over my head, like, oh my God. She's like, you don't have to let them keep stinging you in order to be like, no, we get it. You're not afraid of bees. Like,
yeah. And I think sometimes we do things to ourselves that we wouldn't do to others. Like if I was getting that treatment, Allie would have stepped in so quickly. All right.
You have to repeat points in activism. I'm sorry.
To defend me and or
pissing me off as an
to try to
activist.
protect
Yeah,
me.
that's
It's really bad.
It's a little lazy.
It's really bad.
It's
I'm
lazy.
like, you have to repeat things.
Unable to put up that boundary for yourself because you felt you needed to prove something.
I'm
right?
glad that
and the thing is, you would have stepped in on me and never thought any badly of me shutting it down.
no.
You know, so like you need to not think badly of yourself for like not taking it, right? Like that does not mean something bad about you. But what we did think about was like that was the exact same week the South Park episode came out where they did the it's LIZZO.
Why don't you read us the quote?
Ad read. Okay, so
I'm gonna do an Alyssa.
Really quick, guys. I actually did a video reaction to that episode and Lizzo's reaction to it and the whole thing. I think it was I want to say it was over the summer.
I think so.
So yeah, go check it out.
Yeah, that's my new go-to, isn't it?
Yeah. So the South Park, I got this article from CNN, I believe.
Yes.
We'll link it in the show notes. It's just a write-up. You probably can find this write-up everywhere. It's the quote from the actual episode. And in the episode, it says, in case studies, 70% of patients on LIZZO no longer cared how much they weighed. LIZZO helps you eat everything you want and keep physical activity to a minimum. Ask about the power of not giving a fuck with LIZZO. And she did a reaction to it, right? And I mean, my first thought was, of course they're going to talk about Ozempic. It's taking over the whole damn country. But also the second thought was, nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. Like, you can be...
Where's Lizzo now? Where's Lizzo now?
Pretty much. The other thing too,
Where's most of her?
I think that the show writers, they were kind of picking up on some of the reinforcement aspects of the toxic ritualistic. I will call it out specifically on my channel as to exactly what it is. You don't have to be fat to do that. There's actually a lot of thin people that do it. I won't even say thin
that was
women.
actually a theme of that episode.
Oh, there was.
Yeah,
too?
it was basically like moms who were like on the high end of normal, so basically kind of like mid moms, and them going on Ozempic and getting abs. It was a big plotline. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I think that they can see they are picking up on the reinforcement aspect.
Yeah.
So like using LIZZO to reinforce your behavior. That is definitely something that happens. And that happens across the spectrum again. You see it all over.
And I once got a comment in my on my channel, and they said that it encouraged Lizzo to lose weight. And no, the thing was that the show writers didn't know that she'd already been losing weight for over a year by that point. And so, clearly they were not up to date with what was going on with her. So she actually did get a good clap back in there being like, well, I lost a whole bunch of weight already. Now she's lost even more weight. The problem is with Lizzo, as we know, is that she built her whole brand on body positivity. People and body positivity like movement doesn't want her anymore.
No, and that's the thing too. Like she kind of branded herself that way. So I don't shade South Park for doing that. I just think they're kind of like I see that they were picking up on that reinforcement aspect, and that is real. They may not know it exactly, but it's still, to me, if they were never involved in that, that's still pretty observant, because I think it's really observant to see it when you've never experienced it.
Yeah. Well, the whole, I just want to recap the episode for like 10 seconds, but it's very interesting because Lizzo created the reinforcement, because the whole thing point was all these moms wanted to go on Ozempic, but their insurance wouldn't cover it because they weren't a certain amount overweight. So they all went on Lizzo. They all started gaining weight. And then because they gained weight, they developed type 2 diabetes. And then suddenly their insurance would cover Ozempic. So it was kind of like that reinforcement led to, oh, but now you can go on the thing. Yeah. So
which they're probably looking at it more from the corporatistic view of
it
what
was both in how they interacted.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of that, the the toxic side, it is something that happens. That's why they get so upset if somebody loses weight, because they can no longer use them to reinforce, which that's not humanizing behavior, guys. You're not seeing Lizzo as a person. You're not seeing Adele as a person. You're not seeing them as people. You're using them as a tool for your behavior, which, again, I say that not because I'm judging or because I'm being a bitch about it. I just want you to know that that's what you're doing, because it hurts the people that are trying to lose weight, or it hurts a lot. And it's not good to do. It's not good for you. It's not good for the other person.
Yeah. We're
all human beings. So remember that. But I think let's hear more about what they're going to say about this.
Yeah.
And we'll respond to that.
Be the most successful, strong, powerful. People love your representation. And you are also going to get trolled on different levels and different platforms, right? Like, nobody's safe.
I'm a huge Lizzo fan. I am. I know there's been some controversy around Lizzo in the past year and a half, 2 years. I am a Lizzo fan, period. I have been from the beginning. I saw, oh my God, I wish I remember the movie, but it was a movie, and her song, Good as Hell, was featured in the movie.
Oh.
It was about prom. It was like a prom. I don't know, but it was a great.
Oh, was it called Prom? The one on Netflix?
No.
Okay.
Anyways.
LOL, also not remembering names.
Okay, so it was a movie where the kids go to prom and the song Good as Hell is playing. And I left the theater and I was like that song impacted me. And then I was in the car, I searched the name of the movie, and then like what I could remember, which is Good as Hell, and Lizzo popped up. And from there I started listening to all her music, and I fell in love with this woman.
Yeah.
So I am a stan, and I realized I want to preface that with, I know that that's where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
But I think this bitch is so bad because she gets on her Instagram and goes, yeah, I'm just out here doing things that no one else is. And I'm like, as you should. This woman, I've seen her literally perform a 2-hour concert without missing a beat. Like, forget about her size. She's iconic. She's iconic regardless of her size. She's iconic with her size. I just think that she responded to the South Park episode so beautifully, being like, yeah, and I don't give a fuck. It's like, rock on.
Like,
I wonder, because this is from a few months ago, I think like 8 months ago or something. I really wonder how she feels about her now.
I know, I do too.
Because she's like iconic at any size. Well, is she still iconic to you? I'd really wonder, because I bet she was using her as reinforcement. Yeah.
She might have been. I mean, she could just genuinely love her, but and that did seem like a genuine fangirl moment. So I'm not gonna hate, because I have my cringe Swiftiness, but I am.
But her point about loving her was different.
Yes, that's true. And I think that I agree with you. I wonder, but I don't think they'll talk. I think they just won't address it.
No, they probably won't. I mean, I also like Lizzo, but I'm also not using her for reinforcement. No. It's a little different.
I totally agree. With the end of her reaction video, right? The end of her reaction video, which, to be fair, that weekend, again, I was
coming at it from a different POV.
Yeah, yes, so there's two videos that I can think of. So which video are you referring to?
It was as she was watching it.
Okay.
I was watching her reaction, right? And I was already in the height of like, and I'll be honest with you guys, like, and I know that you two know this, but I'm speaking to our viewers and our listeners again, like, the thing that was getting me about all these fucking comments was like, there were so many comments that were like, oh my God, you're disgusting, you're fat, blah, blah, blah. Like, none of these were hurting my feelings at all. I was like,
are you sure you want to say it?
I'm going to say it.
Okay.
I'm going to say it. Okay. Every single, what?
We were cheering you on.
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah. Okay. Like, every single one of these comments, like, oh my God, you're so gross, you're so fat, you're so that. I'm like, okay, sticks and stones, motherfuckers. I don't give a shit. Then they came for my teeth. and came from my teeth, you guys. These are my little teeth. And now I'm not even gonna lie to you. As I was brushing my teeth this morning, I was like, fuck. Maybe I do need to do some teeth
I just licked my
whitening.
teeth and thinking about teeth.
I'm like, literally, like I've been thinking about my teeth too much over the past 2 weeks, and it's pissing me off. But I literally, like, I was going through, and like literally I'm getting thousands of comments, and like the only ones that I'm blocking and deleting are the ones about my teeth.
You're
right?
like, too far.
Like, this is too far. Like, fat people don't deserve to live, but my teeth, no. But anyway, which sounds so superficial when I say it now, but it was like, but that's the thing. You can't hurt my feelings by calling me fat anymore.
You were prepared for the fat
I was
attacks.
prepared,
You were
but I was
not prepared for the teeth
right?
attacks.
So anyway, it was like I was just in the midst of like another teeth storm, and I see Lizzo's video pop up, and I was like, fuck, because I knew the Ozempic video was coming out last weekend. I myself am a huge South Park fan. I've always been a big South Park fan.
So is Lizzo.
And yeah, and I think that's why it hit me the way that it did, because I was like, wait, I've always been on your side, you guys. Trey Parker and Matt Stone, or I think that's their names, the creators of South Park. Like, I've always been on your side. I've thought that you guys are really smart. But at the same time, I also understand that the reason that they were able to make the episode that they made is because they've also made a career out of not just this part, but they've also made a career of having a shitty fat kid as you know, one of the main players on you know, in their show, Cartman, right? And so not only like every single one of them, every single episode, somebody calls him a fat ass. Like, they constantly are, you know, hating on him, but he's also a fucking asshole. Okay. Which I'm not saying it's right to hate on him for that, but like, he's an asshole. That's just plain and simple, right? So of course the Ozempic episode was targeted towards Cartman. But anyway, going back to the video that I saw, what I saw was Lizzo's genuine reaction as she was watching it. And the thing is, I had not seen it yet. So I was watching it with her, right? I was watching it in that video, right? And her genuine reaction, her face looked like my face. Her face looked like my face. Because she immediately, as soon as she heard them say that one line, like something about the something and not giving a fuck.
Yeah.
I realized that the message was there, but the way it was delivered, I know what these trolls pick up on. They will take one line and say, yeah, the South Park agrees with us too, blah, 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 right? I know how it works. I've been on the internet. Like, I know how it works. So I watched her face. I watched the horror in her face. And it was the same look that was on my face. I was like, I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. And of course, at the end of the video, she's like, you know what? You got to be on some other level for South Park to make an episode about you. Yep. So go off, bitch. And she's right. Like, South Park does not touch every single celebrity, right? Yeah. Like, it's a big deal. It is a big deal, and props to her, right? And props to her for turning that into that moment and being like, I am that bitch. Hell yes, you are, Lizzo. Hell yes, you are. It was the genuine reaction I saw in her face that broke me. Fuck. That broke me.
Yeah.
Because it was the same reaction that was on my face. And that's when I called you, or I texted you guys, and I was like, hey, I know it's really late, but I really need some help right now because I'm not okay.
I'm gonna pause it right there. And we're gonna talk for a little bit before ending this episode, but I also watched that reaction video of Lizzo. And Lizzo did not, like, that is projection. That was a really long rant. I was just waiting for it to end because you can just hear the projection that she is making onto Lizzo. Lizzo did not have a horrified look on her face. She was shocked, but she laughed. And then she was like, yeah, you got to be on some other level for South Park to make fun of you, because she's just a confident person. She's not like her reaction, like, she had a follow-up of where it's just of her like, hey, South Park, and she's like working out and losing weight, so basically proving them wrong. But like, she didn't have an emotional reaction. She didn't go on a crying rant. She didn't like say, oh my god, they hate me, they're out to get me. She just went on with her life. So why are you calling and saying I'm not okay? That's you projecting onto her, because we saw what she did.
And then she's also doing the toxic ritualistic thing of, it doesn't even have to happen to you. It can happen to someone else. I see this all the time. I hear the same story about Jessica Simpson back in 2004 and stuff like that. It's like, honey, It's been over 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't even happen to you. Why you are using that to that's called reinforcement.
Yeah.
You are using it to reinforce what you're doing today.
Mm-hmm.
And I call it out, and people try to say in my comments, well, I think you should have more grace. No, we don't have grace with stuff like that.
No.
People do not have these ideas for happy fun time and tea time
Mm-hmm.
with besties. That's not what it's about. It's about, I'm going to think about this so that I can go engage in toxic behavior.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And I know what it is. You can't fool me.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. That's what you're doing. And it doesn't matter. The behavior is not just about eating.
No.
It's about two other things. It's about obsession with how you look.
Mm-hmm.
And in a negative light, especially. But
Yeah.
even if it's positive, it can be too much of an overcompensation. It's still an obsession. It's not good. The other thing is not doing enough, we'll just say. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
You're using it regardless. You shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
It happened to her. She didn't even care. Let it go. It didn't even happen to you.
Yeah.
I mean, we cannot, the standards. I mean, think of the standards.
Yeah.
The world has to be perfect, not just for you, but for every single other person.
Well, that's why they're so obsessed with these talking points of like, you know, I always say the line over and over again, like, no one's free until we're all free. Because they like, it's millennial activism. I've said on my channel where you have to care about every single little thing. Nobody has that much bandwidth. You got to pick your special interests, and that's what you care about. And you got to try to get people interested in it. But you also have to understand that you can't help or care about every single person on the planet. There's like, what, almost 9 billion of us?
Right.
Yeah.
When I think it is that in a sense that is kind of millennial pride or hubris, where it's like you can, the whole world revolves around you, or you know, or as in the millennial activism, it's like, no, we all have a part to play, and I'm aware of what I can do, and so I do what I can. But not everybody's an activist, and not everybody has it in them.
Yeah, not everybody has to be an activist either. Yeah,
that's okay. But it's like, you know, I know what I'm fighting for, so to speak, and it's like, I want you to know that that's not okay. It's not okay to obsess over a projected LIZZO reaction to justify what you're doing to yourself.
And I also want to talk about the length of that rant that she went on. I was waiting for it to end because there's also that aspect of you have to talk yourself into the situation. And when you have a point, you can make it quickly. Now, I know I'm one to rant and ramble, but when you have a point, when your point is very solid and not when you're like figuring it out in your head, you can typically just say it as you just did, right? You can say it very quickly, succinctly. This is what it is. She didn't even know where she was going with that. She was just trying to get to the story where she was upset. And she's justifying, well, they've always made fun of Cartman, but he's an a-hole. And they've always did this and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, but I like South Park, but I don't like this. It's like, you don't know what point you're making. You're just upset.
And she's just honestly what it is. She's trying to stir up her own emotion. And it's to stir up her own anxiety, to create, it is a form of stimulation, but it's also reinforcement. Well, not self-reinforcement.
Well, that goes back to the thing where she's like, I don't even care about the fat comments that I get. I'm ready for that. But they came from my teeth. You know why she was upset about the teeth? Because it's not something that she can control. I mean, braces, that's different, right? But like, she's born with those teeth. And the weight is the thing that she's prepared to say, I can't control this. And so when it comes to something that's like not in her control,
or that she hasn't properly obsessed over. But that's something that I've been trying to talk about within the mid-sized phase, is you can start to obsess over every other flaw too. But that's why you have to just stop obsessing, period. Because it will never end. It's a game. It's something you're always going to do. So just stop today. That's what I say. But you could see if she were to lose the weight, okay, her next thing would be her teeth. It's like, you can't, it's not healthy. It just isn't. And I feel for them. I do, deep down, I do feel for them. I understand it. but it's also so toxic what they're doing that I do have to be angry about
You
it.
can feel for them because you
Yeah.
can relate to that experience. I cannot relate to that experience at all, so I just get pissed off about the illogical at all.
Yes,
Where
and
I was like,
get
just
that.
get your life together. That's my kind of mentality.
I totally get it. Okay, so we're gonna do, I guess, one more part.
Yeah, we're gonna do
right?
part 2, and we're gonna
Okay.
see you in a little bit. These same outfits. Yeah, bye.